Welcome back to another update in the State Champs Mr. Football Race presented by Hungry Howie's. You know, since 2008, we've had 13 winners of the Michigan Mr. Football Race. For the past several years, Sean Belizean has been breaking it down, the myriad of candidates who've been up for this prestigious award. Now, since we're in the final weeks of the competition, hard to say that, we thought we'd reintroduce the criteria that ultimately determines who will be the 2021 recipient of Mr. Football. Now, Sean, let the people know the formula we use.
Well, this is something that we've rolled with for a while, and it works. And you'll see in the upcoming weeks, we all get together in a room and we use this criteria and we show everybody how our thought process works. But before we get to that, why don't we explain our criteria? 30% for your performance throughout the season. That's pretty self-explanatory there, Lauren. It's just, you know, what did you do week in, week out? What's the cumulative stats? 20% your level of competition. Yes, that counts. There's no doubt about that. What league do you play in? What was your out-of-conference looking like? What does your playoffs look like? Because those games also factor in, as we well know. Now, this is why every week we talk about the importance of you getting out there and voting. 20% goes to the online vote winner. And when you're talking about a scenario where guys are this close, that extra 20% could give somebody the bump that they need. Automatically, they get into our Final Four. We've already discussed that, but that could give you a bump, a mitigating factor, so to speak, and make the difference at the end of the game. Hey, big-time players get it done in big-time games. You know that we have to put a big point into big game performance. How did you do against that rival? How did you do against that highly ranked team? What did you do in that playoff game? Team success, yeah, that is a part of it. We didn't make it as big, but it is a part of it. Look, if your team's still playing, that means you're doing some good things and helping your team out. And 5% is the highly recruited athlete. Now, that doesn't mean that a young man that maybe isn't getting as many calls as another guy can't win this thing. We've seen that in the past, but that's just another one of those smidges that might be able to be a mitigating factor to help us figure out our eventual winner.
Absolutely, and just touching more on the highly recruited athlete, because people do ask us about this. You know, there's a bullseye on that player's back from day one. These are people who are, you know, going to play at the next level, at a high level. And so we think there's a little bit extra pressure on those guys. Again, it's a small percentage, but we felt we needed to put it.
I think that's a great way to put it. The bullseye. Everybody goes, hey, there's Lauren Plant. Yeah. This kid's going to a major D1 university. Right. I'm going to make my name by burying Lauren Plant. So you know darn well that that guy has to be aware of that and cognizant of everything. And if he can still get it done, yeah, that's a factor.
Game plans are made around those players.
Yep.
So their goal is, if we shut this person down, then we think we have a better chance at success. And those guys who rise above that and still perform outstanding games week in and week out, that's why that's there. All right, we certainly appreciate everyone who has voted thus far for Mr. Football. In fact, over 16,000 votes have been cast, and we have 2 more weeks to go as far as the vote's concerned. Rockford's Zach Ahern is the vote leader, and if he holds on, he will automatically hold a spot in our Final Four. 3 others will be selected by the Mr. Football Committee. And while the online vote winner will have a 20% advantage over anyone else to win the award, all 4 will have a great shot at the hardware. Voting ends Monday, November 22nd at noon. We will then reveal our Final Four just a few days later. The champ will be named the following week. Sean, 7 of the 10 candidates are still alive, heading into regionals. Some are going head-to-head this week. It's crunch time.
It's a beautiful thing, no doubt about it. And oh, by the way, did we mention, get out there and vote. There's a reason why we say it each and every week. You can make a big difference.
Okay, next week we're going to break down the remaining candidates as we prepare for the state semifinals, so you don't want to miss that show. Might even make a few predictions. Don't miss it.